My child, stop, just for a moment. Stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to force the door open. Stop rehearsing the conversation you wish would happen. Stop replaying the moment when everything seemed to fall apart. I see you. I see you standing at the edge of something you cannot yet name. Your hands are tired from knocking on doors that feel like stone. Your eyes are weary from scanning the horizon for a sign that never comes. Your chest is heavy with the weight of words you have not spoken because no one is there to listen. And in the quiet of this room right now, you are asking yourself the question you are almost afraid to whisper out loud. Is anything ever going to change? Have I been forgotten? Did I somehow miss my moment? Did I walk so far off the path that I can no longer hear your voice? I hear that question, my child. I have heard every single time you have asked it. I have watched you wake up in the middle of the night with that tightness in your chest. I have seen you scroll through your phone, looking at everyone else's highlight reel while your own story feels stuck on the same painful page. I've watched you put on a brave face for the people around you, nodding along, saying you are fine, when inside you are screaming. And I am speaking to you right now, not to scold you, not to lecture you, but to pull you close and tell you something that the noise of this world has tried to steal from you. You are not falling behind. You are not being punished. You are not invisible. You are being prepared, and the silence you are terrified of. That silence is not abandonment. That silence is the most dangerous moment of your entire spiritual journey. Because in the silence, I am doing something that I could never do while you were distracted by the noise. Do you remember David? The shepherd boy. The one they all forgot. The one his own father did not even bring to the prophet's attention. I watched him out there in the fields, night after night, alone with the sheep. The world did not know his name. His brothers walked past him like he was furniture. Samuel the prophet looked at every single one of his taller, stronger, more impressive brothers before I had to stop him and say, "No, not that one either. There is one more, the youngest, the overlooked one, the one sitting in the field. Do you see where you are right now, my child? You are in that field. You are the one they forgot to mention. You are the one standing in the back of the room while everyone else gets called forward. And you think that means you have been rejected. But I am looking at you right now, and I am telling you, that field is not your punishment. That field is your protection. That field is your training ground. If David had been brought into the palace too early, before he had learned to trust me in the silence, he would have crumbled under the weight of Goliath's shadow. The loneliness you feel right now is not a sign that I have abandoned you. It is a sign that I am removing every voice that would tell you to settle for less than the inheritance I have prepared for you. Think carefully, my child. Think about the people who have walked away. Think about the doors that have slammed shut. Think about the opportunities that vanished right when you reached for them. Your heart has been crying out, why? Why would you let this happen? Why would you let them leave? Why would you let that door close? And I need you to hear me clearly. I closed that door because if you had walked through it, you would have walked right into a prison. I let them leave because they were never meant to carry the weight of what I am about to place in your hands. You have been praying for protection, but you did not realize that the answer to that prayer sometimes looks like loss. It sometimes looks like being left out. It sometimes looks like standing alone in a crowded room, because I am a good father, and a good father does not give his child a blessing that would destroy them. You see the blessing, you see the promotion, you see the relationship, you see the financial breakthrough, and you ask me, why not now? Why am I still waiting? But I see what you cannot see. I see the condition of your heart. I see the wounds you have not yet healed. I see the way you still shrink back when someone raises their voice. I see the way you still chase approval from people who do not even know their own worth. I see the way you still apologize for existing. And I am not withholding the blessing to punish you. I'm withholding the blessing to protect you. Because if I gave you that promotion right now, with the insecurity still living in your chest, you would become a people pleaser instead of a leader. If I gave you that relationship right now, with the codependency still tangled around your heart, you would lose yourself trying to keep them happy. If I gave you that financial breakthrough right now, with the fear of loss still gripping your soul, you would become a slave to the money instead of a steward of it. I am not delaying. I am developing. I am not ignoring you. I am immunizing you. There is an ancient enemy who wants to destroy you. And he is not afraid of your prayers. He is not afraid of your good intentions. He is not afraid of your Bible sitting on the nightstand. He is afraid of one thing. He is afraid of a child of God who has learned to stand in the silence and still trust. He is afraid of a heart that has been broken open and healed by my hand instead of patched together by the world's cheap bandages. He is afraid of a mind that has been renewed so completely that the old accusations no longer land. And right now, that enemy is whispering something in your ear. He is saying, "You have been left behind." He is saying, "Look at everyone else passing you by." He is saying, "God must be angry with you." He is saying, "You must have done something wrong." He is saying, "Just give up. Just settle. Just take the smaller thing because the bigger thing is never coming." Do you hear that voice? Do you recognize it? That is the voice of the one who knows that your breakthrough is closer than your next breath. He is not trying to destroy you because you are weak. He is trying to destroy you because he sees what I am building in you. He sees the Goliath that is about to fall. He sees the Red Sea that is about to part. He sees the prison doors that are about to swing open, and he is terrified. So he is fighting harder now than he ever has before. Not because you are losing, but because you are winning, and you cannot see it yet. But that is the nature of faith. Faith is not seeing the full picture and nodding along. Faith is standing in the dark with your hand in mine and taking one more step, even when the floor feels like it might give way. I want to tell you something about Joseph. You know the story. The dreamer. The one I gave a vision of greatness when he was just a boy. He saw the stars bowing down to him. He saw his brothers honoring him. He saw a destiny so bright it hurt to look at. And then what happened? His brothers threw him in a pit. They sold him into slavery. He ended up in a foreign country, alone, afraid, stripped of everything. He served in Potiphar's house. He was faithful. He was excellent. And what was his reward? A false accusation, a prison cell, years of his life, erased. The dream he saw as a boy must have felt like a cruel joke. He must have lain on the floor of that prison at night, looking up at the ceiling, and wondered if he had imagined the whole thing. Did you really speak to me? Did I really see the stars bowing down? Because right now, I am surrounded by stones. Right now, I'm forgotten. Right now, the only thing bowing down is my own spirit under the weight of this grief. But I never left him. I was in that prison with him. I was training his eyes to see opportunity where others saw only walls. I was teaching him to lead in the darkness so that when the spotlight finally came, he would not be blinded by it. And then, in a single moment, one interpretation of a dream, one recommendation, one shift, and Joseph went from the prison floor to the throne room. Not because he was lucky, not because he finally caught a break, but because I had spent years building something in him that could only be built in the dark. My child, listen to me. You are in your prison moment right now. You are in your field moment. You are in your wilderness moment, and you are begging me to get you out. But I'm not trying to get you out. I am trying to get something out of you. I am trying to get the fear out. I'm trying to get the need for approval out. I'm trying to get the impatience out. I'm trying to get the self-reliance out. I am trying to get the bitterness out. I'm trying to get the comparison out. Because if you walk into your destiny carrying all of that weight, you will collapse before you reach the finish line. So I am doing surgery. And surgery is painful. Surgery requires stillness. Surgery requires you to lie on the table and trust the hands that are cutting into you. You keep asking me to move faster, but you do not understand what I am removing. There are parasites attached to your soul that have been there for years. There are agreements you made with the enemy when you were young and wounded and desperate for love. You said, "I will never be vulnerable again." You said, "I will never trust anyone again." You said, "I will make everyone proud so they cannot leave me." You said, "I will hide my true self because the true self is not acceptable." And those agreements have become chains. And you have worn them so long that you forgot they were chains. You thought they were just part of who you are. But I am breaking those chains. And breaking chains makes noise. Breaking chains feels like something is dying. Because something is dying. The old you is dying. The fearful you is dying. The people-pleasing you is dying. The insecure you is dying. And death, even the death of something that was hurting you, feels like loss. You will grieve the old version of yourself. You will miss the familiar pain. Because the familiar pain is comfortable, and the unfamiliar freedom is terrifying. But I am calling you higher. I am calling you out of the grave, just like I called Lazarus. Lazarus was dead for 4 days. His sisters sent word to me, the one you love is sick. And do you know what I did? I did not rush. I stayed 2 more days, while Martha and Mary wept, while the mourners gathered, while the body grew cold. Everyone around them said, if he had been here, this would not have happened. If he really loved you, he would have come sooner. If he had power, he would have done something. But I waited. Not because I did not love them, but because I loved them too much to give them a temporary healing. I wanted to give them a resurrection. I wanted to show them that I am not just a God who heals the sick. I am a God who raises the dead. And I am doing the same thing in your life right now. I am letting things get so dark that there is no human explanation for the light when it comes. I am letting the situation become so impossible that when I move, everyone around you will have to acknowledge that only God could have done this. You have been asking for a breakthrough that fits inside your small expectations. But I am preparing a breakthrough that will blow the doors off your theology. You have been asking for a door to open. I am getting ready to tear down the entire wall. You have been asking for a little more money to pay the bills. I am getting ready to release an abundance that you will not know what to do with. You have been asking for a relationship to fill the lonely nights. I am getting ready to introduce you to a love that reflects my heart so perfectly that you will finally understand what you have been missing. But you have to stop settling. You have to stop begging for crumbs when I am preparing a feast. You have to stop looking at the clock and telling me that it is too late. I am not bound by your timeline. I am not stressed by your deadlines. I am the God who spoke the universe into existence with a breath. Do you think that bill is too big for me? Do you think that diagnosis is too advanced for me? Do you think that broken marriage is too far gone for me? Do you think that addiction is too strong for me? Do you think that the years you wasted are too many for me to redeem? I am the God of the resurrection. I bring dead things back to life. I make barren wombs sing. I part seas that have been raging for decades. I topple giants that have been terrorizing your family for generations. And you are sitting in your room, head in your hands, wondering if I have forgotten you. I have not forgotten you. I have your name written on the palm of my hand. I have counted every tear you have cried and placed every single one of them in a bottle. I have seen every sleepless night. I have heard every silent sob. I have watched you get up every morning, put your feet on the floor, and face another day of the same struggle. And I am moved. I am not a distant, cold, indifferent force. I am a father, and my heart is breaking with you. But I am also a father who knows what you need more than you know what you need. You think you need the situation to change. I know you need your heart to change, because if your heart does not change, the next situation will break you the same way this one did, and the one after that, and the one after that. I am not just trying to fix your circumstances. I am trying to transform your identity. You have believed a lie about who you are. You have believed that you are your failures. You have believed that you are your past. You have believed that you are what other people said about you. You have believed that you are too broken to be used, too stained to be cleaned, too far gone to come home. And that lie has kept you trapped in a cycle of sin and shame and hiding. Adam and Eve hid in the garden. They heard my voice, and they ran. Not because I was chasing them with a sword, but because their own guilt had become a prison. They were naked, and they were ashamed, and they hid from the only one who could cover them. That is what sin does. It makes you hide. It makes you think that I am angry when I am heartbroken. It makes you think that I am disappointed when I am already planning your restoration. It makes you think that you have to clean yourself up before you can come back to me. But you cannot clean yourself up. That is the whole point. That is why I sent the Son. Not because you were good enough, but because you were not. And I love you anyway. I love you not for what you have done. I love you for who you are. And who you are is my child, my beloved, my masterpiece, the one I have been thinking about since before the foundation of the world. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? This is not a motivational speech. This is not a self-help tip. This is the voice of the creator of the universe speaking directly to his creation. You matter. Your pain matters. Your story matters. The things that keep you up at night matter to me. The things you are too embarrassed to tell anyone else, you can tell me. I already know. And I am not shocked. I am not disgusted. I am not turning away. I am leaning in. I am drawing closer to you right now than you have ever felt me before. Because in your weakness, my strength is made perfect. When you are at the end of yourself, that is where I begin. You have been trying so hard, so hard. You have been trying to be good enough, trying to pray enough, trying to read enough, trying to serve enough, trying to give enough, trying to perform enough, and you are exhausted. Because the performance was never the point. The relationship was always the point. Martha was busy serving. She was doing good things. She was preparing the meal, cleaning the house, making sure everything was perfect. And Mary was sitting at my feet, just sitting, just being, just listening. And Martha got frustrated. She said, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her to help me." And do you know what I said? "Martha, Martha, you are worried and troubled about many things, but one thing is needed." And Mary has chosen that good part. The good part was not the service. The good part was the sitting. The good part was being with me, not doing for me. You have been so busy doing for me that you have forgotten how to be with me. You have been so focused on the mission that you have neglected the relationship. And the mission without the relationship becomes burnout. It becomes resentment. It becomes checking boxes instead of encountering my presence. I want you to stop. Just stop. Put down the checklist, close the to-do list, turn off the noise, and sit. Sit at my feet. Tell me what is really on your heart, not the spiritual-sounding prayer you think you are supposed to pray. The raw, ugly, honest cry of your soul. Tell me you are angry. I can handle your anger. Tell me you are disappointed. I have broad shoulders. Tell me you do not understand what I am doing. I am not threatened by your questions. Tell me you are tired of waiting. I know you are tired, but do not let the tiredness turn into bitterness. Do not let the waiting turn into wandering. Do not let the silence turn into suspicion. I am good. I have always been good, and I will always be good. Even when you cannot see it, even when it feels like the opposite of good. I am working all things together for your good. Not some things, not the easy things, all things. The betrayal, the loss, the failure, the disappointment, the delay, the closed door, the broken heart, all of it. I am weaving it into a tapestry that you cannot yet see. From the back, the embroidery looks like a mess, tangled threads, chaotic colors, knots and loose ends. But from the front, it is a masterpiece. You are seeing the back right now. You are seeing the knots. You are seeing the chaos, and you are questioning the artist. But I know what I am doing. I have never made a mistake. I have never started something I could not finish. And I am not going to start with you. You are my workmanship, my poem, my masterpiece, and I am not done with you yet. The enemy wants you to believe that this is as good as it gets, that you have peaked, that your best days are behind you, that you missed your window, that you are too old, too young, too broken, too late, too far, too much, not enough. All of those voices are lies. They come from the pit of hell, and they are designed to steal your hope, because hope is the anchor of your soul. Without hope, you drift. Without hope, you settle. Without hope, you give up 5 minutes before the miracle, and you are 5 minutes away. You do not know it, you cannot see it, but you are closer than you think. The darkest hour is always just before the dawn. The Red Sea was the deepest, right before it parted. The walls of Jericho were the tallest right before they fell. The tomb was the darkest right before the resurrection. Do not give up in the dark. Do not walk away from the promise because the waiting room is uncomfortable. Do not trade your birthright for a bowl of soup because you are hungry right now. Esau did that. He came in from the field, exhausted and starving. And Jacob had a pot of stew. And Esau said, "Give me some of that red stew, for I am faint." And Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright first." And Esau said, "I am about to die. What good is the birthright to me?" So he traded his future for a meal. He traded his inheritance for temporary relief. And he spent the rest of his life weeping over that decision. Do not be Esau. Do not trade the long term for the short term. Do not give up on the vision because you are uncomfortable right now. Do not walk away from the calling because the process is painful. Do not settle for less than my best because you are too impatient to wait for my timing. I see you looking at the door that closed. I see you looking at the relationship that ended. I see you looking at the opportunity that fell through, and you are tempted to run back, to settle, to take the old thing back because it is better than nothing. But nothing is better than the wrong thing. Emptiness is better than the wrong filling. Loneliness is better than the wrong company. Silence is better than the wrong voice. I'm clearing out your life so that I can fill it with the right things, but you have to trust the clearing. You have to trust the empty spaces. You have to trust the silence. Do you remember Elijah after the showdown on Mount Carmel? After the fire fell from heaven and consumed the sacrifice? After he defeated the prophets of Baal? He was on top of the world. And then one threat from Jezebel, one message from a queen who hated him. And he ran. He ran into the wilderness. He sat under a broom tree and asked me to take his life. He said, "I have had enough, Lord. I am no better than my ancestors." He was depressed. He was exhausted. He was suicidal. And I did not scold him. I did not tell him to pull himself together. I sent an angel. I baked him bread. I gave him water. I let him sleep. I ministered to his body before I addressed his spirit. Because I am a gentle father. I know you are made of dust. I know your frame is weak. I know you are tired, and I am not angry at you for being tired. I am inviting you to come to me and rest. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. You have been carrying a yoke that I never gave you. You have been carrying the weight of other people's expectations. You have been carrying the weight of your own perfectionism. You have been carrying the weight of past failures. You have been carrying the weight of future fears. You were never meant to carry any of that. Give it to me, right now, in this moment. Visualize your hands opening. Visualize all of that weight dropping to the floor. And let me pick it up. Let me carry it. I am strong enough. I am big enough. I am loving enough. I do not need you to be strong for me. I need you to be weak enough to let me be strong for you. Paul begged me 3 times to remove a thorn from his flesh. He had some kind of affliction, some messenger of Satan that tormented him. And he prayed. He prayed passionately. He prayed persistently. And I answered him. But my answer was not what he wanted. I said, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Paul stopped begging for the thorn to be removed, and he started boasting in his weakness, because when he was weak, then he was strong. Not because he became strong, but because my strength showed up in his weakness. Your weakness is not a problem for me. Your weakness is an invitation. Your brokenness is not a barrier. Your brokenness is a billboard that announces to the universe that only God could be doing this. You have been trying to hide your brokenness. You have been trying to pretend that you have it all together. You have been smiling on the outside while crumbling on the inside. And I am telling you, you can stop. You do not have to perform anymore. You do not have to pretend anymore. You do not have to prove anything anymore. You are already loved. You are already accepted. You are already chosen. Nothing you do will make me love you more. Nothing you do will make me love you less. My love for you is not based on your performance. My love for you is based on my character, and I am love, so I cannot stop loving you. Even when you wander, even when you fail, even when you doubt, even when you fall, I am right there, reaching down to pick you up. The prodigal son took his inheritance and ran. He went to a far country. He wasted everything. He lived recklessly. He hit rock bottom. He was feeding pigs, longing to eat the pods they were eating, and no one gave him anything. He came to his senses. He rehearsed his speech. I will arise and go to my father, and I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. He was ready to settle, ready to earn his way back, ready to be a servant instead of a son. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him. His father was watching every day, scanning the horizon, waiting, hoping. And when he saw his son, he ran, he did not walk, he did not wait for the son to come to him. He ran, he embraced him, he kissed him, he put a robe on his back, a ring on his finger, shoes on his feet, and he threw a party. He said, This son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. That is who I am. I am the father who runs. I am the father who watches. I am the father who celebrates your return. Do not believe the lie that you have to clean yourself up before you come back to me. Come dirty, come broken, come ashamed, come empty, come with nothing to offer but your need, and I will welcome you. I will throw a robe over your shame. I will put a ring on your finger that reminds you of your identity. I will put shoes on your feet because you are not a servant in this house, you are a son, you are a daughter. You belong here, you have always belonged here. The enemy has been lying to you, telling you that you are an outsider, that you are not qualified, that you are not spiritual enough, that you are not worthy. But I have already qualified you. I have already made you worthy, not because of anything you did, but because of what the Son did on the cross. He paid the debt you could not pay. He took the punishment you deserved. Do you hear it? That stillness beneath the chaos, that quiet voice you have been straining to hear through the static of the world. I am still here. I never left. But something has shifted inside you, hasn't it? You came into this listening with a certain weight on your chest, and somewhere in the middle of the last conversation, something began to loosen. Something you had locked away so tightly that you forgot it was even there began to breathe again. Do not be alarmed by that feeling. Do not pull back from it. That is not weakness rushing in. That is healing beginning to bleed through the cracks of your carefully constructed walls. You have spent so many years building those walls, brick by brick, disappointment by disappointment, betrayal by betrayal. You told yourself that the walls were there to protect you. And they did, for a time. They kept out the sharp words, they kept out the rejection, they kept out the people who promised to stay and then walked away. But something else happened that you did not anticipate. The walls that kept the pain out also kept the light out. The walls that protected you also imprisoned you. And you have been standing inside that prison for so long that you forgot there was a world outside. You forgot what fresh air felt like. You forgot what it felt like to trust without calculating every possible exit strategy. You forgot what it felt like to love without holding back a piece of yourself just in case. But I have been watching you from the other side of those walls. I have seen you pace back and forth. I have heard you whisper to yourself in the dark. I have felt the weight of your isolation, and I am not here to condemn you for building the walls. I understand why you built them. I was there when the first brick was laid. I saw the tears you cried when they hurt you. I saw the confusion on your face when the person you trusted most turned their back. I saw the moment something inside you snapped and you said, "Never again. Never again will I be that vulnerable. Never again will I give someone the keys to every room in my heart. Never again will I be caught off guard." I saw that moment, and my heart broke for you. Not because you were wrong to feel that way, but because I knew that the walls you were building would keep you safe from the small wounds, but they would also keep you from the great love, the kind of love that requires risk, the kind of love that requires openness, the kind of love that can only be experienced when you are willing to be hurt. I am not asking you to be naive. I am not asking you to ignore wisdom. I am asking you to trust me enough to let me dismantle those walls, brick by brick, not all at once. That would be too much for you. But stone by stone, layer by layer, starting right now. There is a story you know, the story of the man at the pool of Bethesda. He had been lying there for 38 years, waiting for the stirring of the water, waiting for someone to help him in. And every time the angel troubled the pool, someone else stepped in front of him. Every time, for nearly 4 decades. Can you imagine the disappointment? Can you imagine the hope that died a little more every time he heard the splash and realized he was still on his mat? He had built walls too. Walls of resignation, walls of learned helplessness, walls of bitterness toward the people who always got there first. And then I showed up. I did not ask him about his theology. I did not ask him to clean up his life. I did not ask him to prove his faith. I asked him one question. Do you want to be made well? It seems like a simple question, but it is not. Because wanting to be made well means admitting that you are not well. It means admitting that your coping mechanisms are not working. It means admitting that the walls you built are not actually protecting you. They are suffocating you. Do you want to be made well? Not do you want your circumstances to change. Not do you want your bank account to increase. Not do you want your relationship to be restored. Do you want to be made well? Because I can change your circumstances and you can still be sick inside. I can give you everything you asked for, and you can still be empty. What I'm offering you right now is not a new situation. What I'm offering you is a new heart. I'm offering you a complete renovation of the way you see yourself, the way you see me, and the way you see the world. But you have to want it, not just in your head, in your gut, in your bones, in that place where you have been holding on to the pain like an old friend. Because that is what happens, does it not? The pain becomes familiar. The loneliness becomes comfortable. The suspicion becomes a security blanket. You know how to be hurt. You know how to be disappointed. You know how to be alone. Those are old shoes that have already been broken in. But trust, vulnerability, hope, those feel terrifying because you have not practiced them in years. You have forgotten how. You have forgotten what it feels like to wake up in the morning and expect good things. You have forgotten what it feels like to look at the future without dread. You have forgotten what it feels like to believe that someone could actually love you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. That forgetting is not your fault. You were wounded, and wounds change the way you see. A man with a wounded eye sees shadows everywhere. A woman with a wounded heart sees betrayal in every outstretched hand. But I am not just a healer of bodies. I am the healer of the memory. I am the healer of the imagination. I am the healer of the deepest places that no human eye can see. And I'm doing surgery on you right now, right here, in this moment, as you read these words. I am reaching past all of your defenses, past all of your arguments, past all of your carefully rehearsed reasons for why you cannot trust again. And I am touching the part of you that still believes, the part of you that still hopes, the part of you that still dreams. It is small, it is buried, it is barely breathing, but it is still there. And I am going to breathe on it. I am going to feed it. I am going to protect it. And I am going to make it grow until it is bigger than your fear. Do you remember Peter? Walking on the water. He saw me walking on the sea. And he said, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." I said, "Come." And he got out of the boat. He got out. He left the safety of the vessel. He left the familiar. He left the thing that was keeping him afloat. And he walked on the water. He did the impossible. Because he kept his eyes on me. But then he looked at the wind. He looked at the waves. He looked at the circumstances. He looked at the reasons why he should not be able to do what he was doing. And he began to sink. He did not sink because the water was too deep. He did not sink because the waves were too high. He sank because he took his eyes off of me. That is where you are right now. You are standing on the water. You are doing something that should be impossible. You are surviving things that should have destroyed you. You are still here, still breathing, still believing, even if just barely. But your eyes keep drifting. You look at the economy. You look at the diagnosis. You look at the broken relationship. You look at the children who have wandered. You look at the clock and see time running out, and you begin to sink, not because the situation is too big for me, but because your focus has shifted from me to the problem. I am calling you back. I am reaching out my hand, and I'm saying the same thing I said to Peter. Why did you doubt? Not an accusation, an invitation. Why did you doubt? What made you forget who I am? What made you forget what I have already done? What made you forget the thousands of times I came through for you? What made you forget the Red Sea that parted? What made you forget the manna that fell? What made you forget the water from the rock? What made you forget the lions that were shut? What made you forget the furnace that did not burn? What made you forget the tomb that could not hold me? You have a short memory, my child, and I do not say that to shame you. I say it because I know how fear works. Fear erases the past. Fear convinces you that this time is different. Fear whispers that I helped others, but I will not help you. Fear says that you are the exception to my faithfulness, but you are not the exception. You are the proof. You are the testimony that I have not failed yet, and I am not going to start with you. You are standing at the edge of something new. I can feel your hesitation. I can see you looking back at the old things, the old habits, the old patterns, the old relationships, the old sins. There is a pull in your chest, is there not? A pull toward the familiar, even when the familiar was destroying you, even when the familiar left you empty, even when the familiar was a counterfeit version of the real thing. You keep going back to Egypt. You keep craving the leeks and the garlic and the onions of your slavery. You have forgotten the taste of freedom. You have forgotten that the manna I provide is strange at first. It requires trust. It requires you to wake up every morning and collect what I have given. It requires you to believe that I will provide again tomorrow. That is what the wilderness teaches. The wilderness is not a punishment. The wilderness is a classroom, and you are in a wilderness season right now. I know you did not choose it. I know you would rather be in the promised land. But the promised land without the wilderness produces a spoiled child. a child who does not know the value of the inheritance, a child who takes the gift for granted, a child who squanders the blessing. I am not leading you through the wilderness to be cruel. The version where you admit that you struggled, that you doubted, that you almost gave up, but that I held on to you. That is the version that gives people permission to be honest about their own struggles. That is the version that breaks the shame cycle. That is the version that opens the door for healing. Do not be afraid of your mess. Your mess is the ministry. Your mess is the message. Your mess is the proof that I specialize in bringing beauty from ashes. The ashes are not the end. The ashes are the raw material. The ashes are what I use to create something so beautiful that only I could have done it. You have been trying to hide your ashes. You have been sweeping them under the rug. You have been pretending they are not there, but I am asking you to hand them to me. Give me your ashes. Give me your failures. Give me your regrets. Give me your shame. Give me the things you cannot fix. Give me the relationships you cannot save. Give me the dreams that have died. Give me the years you think you wasted. Give me the mistakes you cannot undo. Give them all to me. And watch what I do. I will take the ashes and I will create a crown. I will take the mourning and I will create joy. I will take the despair and I will create praise. That is what I do. That is who I am. The Redeemer, the Restorer, the one who makes all things new. Not some things. All things. Not eventually. Now, not in theory, in practice. I am doing it right now, right here, in this moment. I am taking the broken pieces of your heart and I am putting them back together, not the way they were before. Better, stronger, more beautiful. Because the cracks will let my light shine through. The cracks will become the very thing that draws people to you. They will see the scars and they will ask, "How did you survive?" And you will tell them, not because you are strong, but because I am. Do you feel that? The shift in the atmosphere? The change in the pressure? Something is breaking. Something is loosening. Something that has held you captive for years is losing its grip. Do not fight it. Do not try to hold on to it. Let it go. Let it fall. Let it die. Because on the other side of that death is resurrection, and resurrection is always better than the original. The original was good, but resurrection is glorious. The original came from dust. Resurrection comes from me. I want to tell you about Gideon. He was hiding, threshing wheat in a winepress. That is not where you thresh wheat. You thresh wheat in the open air, on a hill where the wind can blow away the chaff. But Gideon was hiding in a winepress, a pit, because he was afraid of the Midianites. He was afraid of the enemy. He was hiding his activity, his purpose, his calling. And I showed up. And I said to him, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Mighty warrior, Gideon, the hider, Gideon, the fearful, Gideon, the one who was so insecure that he asked for sign after sign after sign. I called him a mighty warrior before he had ever fought a battle. I called him what he was becoming, not what he was. That is what I am doing with you. I am calling you what you are becoming. You may feel weak, but I call you strong. You may feel afraid, but I call you courageous. You may feel insignificant, but I call you a world changer. You may feel like you are hiding in a winepress, but I see you standing on a mountain. I see you leading armies. I see you routing the enemy. I see you victorious, not because of your strength, but because of mine. Gideon ended up with an army of 300 men against an army that was as numerous as locusts. And I told him to send most of them home, because I did not want Israel to boast that their own strength had saved them. I wanted it to be clear that the victory came from me. Your resources may be small, your army may be tiny, your bank account may be low, your support system may be almost non-existent. That is not a problem. That is an opportunity. Because when I move, everyone will know that it was me. I am not looking for people with large platforms. I am looking for people with large faith. I am not looking for people with impressive resumes. I'm looking for people with surrendered hearts. I'm not looking for people who have it all together. I'm looking for people who know they do not and are willing to depend on me for everything. That is you. That has always been you. You just did not know it. You thought your weakness disqualified you, but your weakness is your qualification. Because my power works best in weakness. My grace is sufficient for you. Not my grace plus your strength. Not my grace plus your resources. Not my grace plus your connections. My grace, period. sufficient, enough, more than enough. You do not need to add anything to what I have already given you. You just need to receive it. You just need to believe it. You just need to act on it. So act. Take a step, not a big one, a small one step toward the thing I have been calling you to do. One conversation you have been avoiding, one habit you have been meaning to break, one apology you have been needing to make, one boundary you have been needing to set, one risk you have been afraid to take, just one, and then another, and then another. Before you know it, you will look back and realize you have crossed the entire sea, not because you are a great walker, but because you walked toward me, one step at a time. I am not asking you to have perfect faith. I am asking you to have real faith. Faith that says, I do not understand everything. I do not see the whole picture. I am still afraid, but I trust you anyway. That kind of faith moves mountains. That kind of faith pleases me. That kind of faith is rare. But you have it, buried under the fear, buried under the doubt, buried under the voices that tell you that you are not enough. It is there, and I am calling it forth. Rise up, my child. Rise up from the ashes. Rise up from the hiding. Rise up from the fear. Rise up from the small, safe, predictable life. Rise up into the abundant life I promised you. Not abundant stuff, abundant joy, abundant peace, abundant purpose, abundant love, abundant meaning. The kind of abundance that cannot be measured in dollars or likes or followers. The kind of abundance that fills your soul to overflowing. The kind of abundance that makes you want to wake up in the morning. The kind of abundance that makes you excited about the future. The kind of abundance that makes you dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Because a joyful Christian is a threat, a peaceful Christian is a weapon, a loved Christian is a fortress, and that is what you are becoming. Not perfect, not finished, not without struggles, but dangerous, because you have learned the secret. The secret is not that the problems go away. The secret is that I am with you in the problems. The secret is that the pressure produces patience. The secret is that the patience produces character. The secret is that the character produces hope, and hope does not disappoint. Because my love has been poured out into your heart. That is the cycle. That is the process. That is the path. And you are on it, even when you cannot feel it, even when you cannot see it, even when every cell in your body is screaming that you are going backwards. You are moving forward. You are growing. You are changing. You are becoming. And I am so proud of you. I need you to hear that. I am so proud of you. Not because you have arrived, but because you have not given up. Not because you are perfect, but because you keep getting back up. Not because you have all the answers, but because you keep asking. Not because you never doubt, but because you keep believing. You are my child, and I am well pleased with you. Take a breath. Let that sink in. Let it go past your head and into your heart. Let it go past your heart and into your bones. Let it settle deep into the place where you have been carrying shame and disappointment and failure, and let it heal. Let it wash over you like water. Let it warm you like fire. Let it strengthen you like food. You are loved, not because you earned it. You are loved because you are mine. Nothing you do will make me love you more. Nothing you do will make me love you less. My love for you is not a reaction to your behavior. My love for you is an expression of my nature, and I cannot change my nature, so I cannot stop loving you, even when you wander, even when you fail, even when you forget me. I am still there, still waiting, still hoping, still calling. Come home. Come home to my heart. Come home to my peace. Come home to my purpose. Come home to the place where you belong. You have been wandering long enough. You have been running long enough. You have been hiding long enough. It is time to come home. I am waiting, not with anger, not with disappointment, not with a list of your failures. I am waiting with open arms, with a robe for your back, with a ring for your finger, with shoes for your feet, with a party in your honor. Because you were lost, and now you are found. You were dead, and now you are alive. Come home, my child. Come home. I love you. I have always loved you, and I will always love you. Now rest. Rest in that love. Let it carry you through the night. Let it hold you through the storm. Let it guide you through the unknown. Because you are not alone. You have never been alone, and you never will be. I am with you. always, until the end of the age and beyond. Rest now, beloved, rest.